Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk a little bit about difficult expats. This is kind of a territory I don't like to go into too much because it is a very difficult territory for expats that live over here and for the new expats that are coming in here. And some of the new expats, we've talked about them before, that some of you guys are going to need to leave some of your stuff behind, some of your old baggage, your emotional baggage from the past, and make this your new future. But unfortunately, there are people already over here that never did that. And a lot of these people, what they do is they bring that into other people's lives over here. And it gets really difficult sometimes. And it's not that I don't have a heart for these people, because I do. Because, I used to work as a therapeutic mentor working with families. So I understand that people have their issues. I really understand that. But some of these people, what they are is they're like these people that bring negativity into your life. And if you bring these people into your life, they'll bring that negativity into your life and make it miserable. And everybody that comes to the Philippines, for the most part, as far as I know, I would think everybody wants to have a positive lifestyle over here. And when you invite some of this stuff into your life, it can wreck your life over here too. It takes away that positive feel, that positive vibe when you first get over here. It starts tearing at it. And a lot of people that come here, what they do is they look at all the negative and they never look at the positive. And I notice this sometimes even in my comment section, because in my comments, I did the thing about the SRRV the other day, okay? And one of the people commented on there about the agent that I have. And I took it down immediately because of the fact that it was just false, okay? And they were making all kinds of false accusations and stuff. The agent that I tell everybody about on there is probably one of the best agents in the Philippines. And she's not a scammer. She's a decent, excellent person. I used her. Many of the other expats that I've recommended have used her already. And one of the people said something about Facebook page. That Facebook page I made, okay? And I made her one of the moderators on there, okay? And I basically handed the page over to her because I was off Facebook for about a year. Okay, and then I just recently redid my Facebook page. Okay, I handed that over to her. Okay, it's basically in her hands now. Okay, but the thing is this: people say things sometimes just to be nasty, just to make you miserable, just for the fact that they want to make you miserable. There's no reasoning behind it. The guy even went as far as ending it in "God bless." You know, I mean, think about that for a second. The guy goes on to tear apart this woman for no reason at all, because this lady's helped probably thousands of expats over here. I don't know how many people she's helped. She's helped a lot. And she helped me. Every time I had a question for her, she answered and went out of her way to answer it. And let me add this. Most of the agents over here that you're going to run into online, okay, is they're going to charge you $300 to $1,000 to do your SRV. This lady doesn't charge that. She gets paid by the PRA. Do you think the PRA is going to take this woman in if she's not, an asset to the PRA? Of course not. That's foolishness. I mean, some people just don't think when they make these comments. I've known Mary Rose now for quite a while, and the first time I heard about her was in a travel magazine. And that's where I found out about the PRA and the SRRV. That's where I found out about it. I highly recommend this lady because of the fact that she doesn't charge the extra fees when she can. Because you're allowed to, but she doesn't. She only charges the fees that the PRA gives her. And I believe you have to pay for your medical now. I believe that's one of the new things that's come down the pike, that at the PRA you have to pay for the medical now. I believe I just read that somewhere. I think it might have even been on the old SRRV page that I started. because I was just peeking on there just to see how it's doing. But the other thing is, guys, is this. You know, I see in my comments sometimes these comments from people, and they're so negative. Like they go off at you like they know it all. And then I do the research and I find out that they're wrong. But yet they'll adamantly keep on going with you. And I don't have all the time in the world to argue with some of these people. I mean, we have really great people on my page. We have a really good mix of people. But every so often you get those one or two that try to mix in or come over from another page. And the people that have been doing some of this are coming over from another page, okay? One of the guys was saying, what right do I have telling people that they shouldn't come over here on the $600 or $800 or $1,000 budgets? Because he, you know, so and so on some other page is saying that it's okay for them to come over here. I don't care what somebody else says on some other page. I'm not that page. You know, I'm looking out for the social wealth, the welfare over here of expats that I tell to come over here, because I don't want anybody coming over here that's not going to be safe. And let's be real here. Telling somebody to come over here on a $600 or $800 or even $1,000 budget for a person that's in their 70s is crazy. Because somebody in their 70s is like, or 70, is 5 years away from total failure because he might not be able to afford it on $1,000. Even at $1,000, I bet you he probably can't afford getting some sort of insurance over here unless he's on TRICARE and he can self-insure. So it's just dangerous to tell people to come over here on those budgets. You know, and those are the type of people that we meet over here sometimes. People, I understand people are going to be different. Everybody's different. Everybody varies from one person to the next. We're all different. If we were a cookie cutter, it would be a terrible world to live in. But we do have these percentage of people over here that they're very difficult and they don't think about other people. They don't, a lot of vloggers out here too, some of these expat vloggers, the problem is they don't think long and hard about what they say. They just spit it out of their mouth. They don't care about the ramifications of it because it's not going to come back on them. They don't care. You know, and it's kind of sad that these people will spit this information out there about, hey, you can come over here, you can live on 500, you can live on 400, you can live on 800. You know, and yeah, you might be able to live for a little while, but I don't think you're going to be happy. Nobody, you know, most people don't want to go into their retirement living like they're homeless. They just don't want to, you know. They want to come over here and live life. So to tell somebody to come over here and you can live on 800, but you're not telling them that that's not, there's no money left over afterwards to go to the beach, to go to a resort, to run up to Manila and go shopping, or go to the mall, or even go to Starbucks to get a coffee in some cases, if it's that low. You know, these people are setting people up for failure. And these are difficult expats because these people think that they're right sometimes. They don't understand that they're hurting people, you know, when they do stuff like this. And also you get the expats that are roaming around in the streets. And when I first come over here, I remember I had this habit. I thought I was going to run into expats and they were all going to be pretty cool and friendly and stuff like that. And I knew I was going to run into some, well, we'll just say dickheads too, you know? I mean, just to be realistic here, you know? But I remember walking up to one guy one time. I didn't say anything to him. You know, at the time, I didn't even have my vlog going. And I just walked up to him and said hi. And the first words out of his mouth was, I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk politics. If you talk politics around here, you can get arrested for that. You can get in trouble for that. And I'm like, okay, pal. See you later. You know, I don't know what his problem was. But I remember running into this guy, and it was kind of strange. You know, because the guy just started, I was like, okay. You know, sometimes you just, when you run into those people, you let them go fast. Don't try to explain yourself to these people. Just run, you know, because those are the crazy ones. Sometimes you get people that they don't want to be around expats, period. And sometimes they're doing you a favor. They're doing you a favor sometimes. Trust me, you know, because I tried being friendly to one of these guys one time, and he lives down the street here. He's kind of a friendly guy, but he's not the friendliest guy. So he's probably doing us a favor. You know, and I'm not trying to put him down or anything, because he's actually a pretty decent guy, but, you know, I could see like there's some hidden issues there. You know, and there's another guy down the street here too, and he's a good guy. You know, he walks around here with a cane. I see him once in a while. I haven't seen him recently. You know, and then we had the Canadian guy around here who thought he stormed the beaches of Normandy. You know, like if you heard him, you'd think he was a hero or something. And he probably was never even in the military. I got the impression that he wasn't in the military because of some of the stuff he was saying. But these are the type of people you run in here. They're difficult expats. A lot of these people, and this is what the way I look at life. I look at life like this. If life is going to hand you lemons, make lemonade. Okay? And a lot of these people haven't learned to make lemonade when life is handing them lemons. And sometimes it can be difficult to do that. I remember a while back, I used to help expats and veterans get their SRV veterans visa on Facebook. And I used to send these people videos. Some of the veterans, I would help them with their claims by sending them a video explaining how to do it. The SRV people, sometimes they'd ask a question. I'd do a video and send it to them or whatever. Or I would, send them a link to a video that I did for them, And after a while, Facebook said I was spamming, but I wasn't spamming. But they took me off for 1 year, okay? So what happened was, I was mad because they made me lose a lot of pictures and a lot of connections with a lot of good friends, and also with my relatives. And some of the people, they're lost forever. Their connections in my life I can never retrieve. I can't even find some of these people on Facebook anymore because some people changed their names or whatever, or they've moved on to some other social network or whatever. But I lost a lot of connections because I can't even remember the names and stuff, But what I did was this. I took that time that I used to spend on Facebook and I went on YouTube and I made this channel. When life handed me lemons, I made lemonade. And now I'm 10 times better off than I was before because I learned how to use something negative and turn it into a positive. And a lot of these expats can't do that. They can't learn to adjust, and move on. They just can't get it. And the fact is that, when you're in the military, you learn to adjust and adapt. And a lot of these people, some of them are ex-military, and they never learned that in the military. And they never learned it in their life, how to adapt. And in the Philippines, it's all about adapting, trust me. That's one thing you can say about Filipinos, is they're adaptable. The most adaptable people I have ever met are Filipino people. Filipino people are adaptable people. They're very smart. They're ingenious. They know how to make things, like if something's going wrong in their life or the world hands them lemons, boom, they're on top of it. They don't even worry about it because the next morning they're going to wake up and they're going to change their life and they're going to adapt to it. And that's one thing you'll notice about Filipino people. And if you can learn one thing from Filipinos as an expat, learn how to adapt. That's probably the biggest lesson I've ever gotten over here in my life was about adapting. I already knew about that before. But I mean, over here I've even picked up more. I've made it more a part of my life. It's part of your success in the Philippines is adapting. Over here one of the things you have to get used to is waiting in lines. And also getting bad service sometimes. But you learn to adapt. You have to learn to speak up for yourself, not be rude. And that's part of some expats come over here and they think rudeness is the way to fight back. And that's the worst way to fight back. Be friendly but firm. Okay? Still joke around when you're telling them something when you're firm, but be firm with them, but not overly firm. There's a difference between firm and rudeness. And a lot of expats over here don't get that. They don't know the difference because in the United States, I remember when I was back in Massachusetts, people were rude. They were rude. It's part of the United States now where if you disagree with somebody, man, you're just gonna be, you feel like you have to be rude to them. That's the way people are. They feel like they have to be rude to people, and I've never ever wanted to be like that with people. I always try to treat people decent. Unless you mistreat me, really bad and keep on continually doing it, I'm still gonna treat you with respect. But like these people sometimes over here, they take some of that from back home with them and they throw it upon the Filipino people, and the Filipino people don't understand why some of these expats come over here and unload on them. And then the expats over here, it's kind of the same thing, is that they unload on other expats, and we have to take the brunt of that. Even in my comments sometimes I notice somebody might be miserable back in their house or whatever, and they're sitting in front of their computer and they say, you know what, I'm going to unload on this bastard. And they just do. And I sit there and I'm like, what's this guy's issue? I'm trying to help people. And people come on and they'll just plain be nasty. And I get it. People out there do have some mental health issues, you know what I mean? And you need to seek help for that. I have a heart for people like that. Some people think I don't because I talk about this on occasion, and sometimes it gets you angry. It gets you angry. It does get you angry sometimes when people continually punch you, whether verbally or physically. It gets you angry. But most of the punches over here are with words. And they continually do it. So sometimes I've had to even take people out of the comment section, just, ban them. But they can still give me the thumbs down or thumbs up, and I know a few of them do, and that's okay. I live with it, I know there's going to be people out there, I accept that. And those people, they have their issues, and they know who they are. But in today's world, nothing's going to be perfect, guys. Just make sure you can make lemonade out of your lemons when life hands you lemons. And don't take it out on the world and other people, guys, just because you're miserable. A lot of us come from broken relationships, broken lives or whatever. And some people don't have the ability to move past that and make their lives better. In the Philippines here, you guys have the chance over here to change that. Leave that crap home. Leave that bad luggage home. Let it stay there. Don't bring it here with you. I don't want your luggage. I don't even want to see your luggage from your past. And nobody wants to see my bad luggage from the past. Don't bring it. And I'm trying to say that in a decent, loving way to get people to understand that, don't bring that crap with you. Because when you come over here, this is probably your last chance. It's your last chance. Most of us are older. There is no other chance after this. You might get one more if you're lucky to get one in if it doesn't work out. And some people do. But really, when you come over here, most people are planning on coming over here for good. Although many go back. A third to half probably go back. I would say about a third, maybe more. But I think some of those people are getting ready to come back again. From what I'm hearing, some of these guys went back, they gave up. Now they're saying that, now that they get back in the United States, they want to come back here. So that says something for the Philippines over the United States, because they go back to the United States and they see the misery in people's faces back there, and the people that are ignorant, and they just can't get past this political division there, and they just keep on going with it. And they beat that to death back in the United States, man. That, between the racial stuff and all that crap. Get over it, guys. I love everybody. I've been called a racist, and I love everybody. When I was back in the States, I was called all kinds of names. And they're asking who you vote for or who you like and who this. And if you don't go the way that they go, they hate your guts. And it's kind of sad that the country has become like that. I remember back in the 80s when Ronald Reagan was president. Ronald Reagan was good friends with Tip O'Neill, who was a very liberal man, I might add. And Ronald Reagan was very conservative. But they got along like this. They used to sit and have a beer once in a while or a cup of coffee and talk and chat. And they enjoyed, making barbs at each other and had a good laugh with each other, and they'd shake hands and give each other a slap on the back or something like that. Tip O'Neill was just as good a man as Ronald Reagan in that he accepted the other side. And that's the way the world should be. That is the way the world should be. Whether you're a Democrat, a liberal, progressive, Republican, libertarian, we should all get along. Whether you're black, white, Asian, whatever, it doesn't matter. We should all get along. We should all have a love for each other. I don't care if you're disabled, sick, or you have mental illness or PTSD. I still love everybody. I might not like being around them sometimes, but I still care for these people. I think that's kind of the way that the world has to be today. We have to have more love for our fellow man. We need to have something in our hearts for people. And sometimes you still need to stay away from some of these people because they're not going to change. And I understand that, and everybody needs to understand that too. It doesn't mean we have to be rude with them. I mean, sometimes, like for me, it's hard for me to kick somebody off my channel sometimes. But when somebody gets rude and obnoxious or is going to hurt somebody else by just telling blatant lies, hey, you can come over here on a low budget and you can survive. And then some 75-year-old guy comes over here thinking he can survive over here on $1,000 or something like that, and have insurance, really good insurance at that. That's hurting somebody. So that's why I tell people the way it is over here. And I know I get a lot of people disagreeing with me, and it's okay to disagree. But when you're hurting somebody, and you disagree, you need to make sure you cover all your bases, both as a vlogger or a commentator. And it goes for everybody, and in this world, we all need to kind of, we need to help other people and think before we talk. I really think out about what I say before I say it in my vlogs. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I don't stand up on a pedestal and speak down to people. I speak at the same level. I'm here to help you. If you got a question, I answer almost every single comment, every single email. But if you're going to be rude with me, that's when I stop, because there is a group of expats over here, probably like, I say 10 to 30%, and they do have some heavy duty issues, and God bless them, But a lot of these people need to realize that they have those issues, and sometimes when you have issues, you don't think you have the issues, And when somebody says something, if you start seeing a lot of negative attitudes towards you, maybe you need to look inward sometimes. I mean, when people make comments to me, I take it. First, I look at it, I assess it, and see where it's coming from. And if I think the person's just doing it just to, get me razzed up, and get me angry, and a lot of people do that because you got the trolls out there, I just boot them. Because you have to have common sense too. But anyway, guys, just be careful about expat friendships over here too. Those friendships can, some of these people are users over here too. And there's a good amount of expats over here, maybe 10%, maybe more. And those people will try to use you for what they can get from you. They're not, sometimes friendships need to be, if it's a real true friendship, it should be give and take. I mean, I have so many friendships now that I've gotten from being here on YouTube. I have people writing to me every day, and I'm grateful for those friendships. I have people send me pictures of their family, pictures of them and their girlfriend and things like that. I appreciate that, and I love to see those pictures of my subscribers. It's great. It makes me feel closer with them, that I'm really reaching out to people. And some of these guys want to meet me or have a cup of coffee or a steak or something like that. And I enjoy that, having conversations with my subscribers, both on the phone, emails, comments, and everything. And I'm grateful for that, And one of the reasons why I don't put on super chats and things like that on my thing, because there's no need. I feel like a connection with many of my subscribers, and I'm not going to charge these people to help these people. I do this on my own. The money I make is off my ads. I mean, if you want to help me watch my ads, that's what I tell people, and I don't need anything else. I don't need super chats. You don't need to send me anything, a box of gifts or something. And I appreciate that, guys. I really, really do. And I'm very thankful for those offers, because I get a lot of offers of people wanting to send me a package or something from the United States. Hey, you need anything? I'm very grateful for that, guys. But I really, really, honestly don't need it. And I'm very thankful that we have subscribers on here like that. And it's kind of humbling sometimes, But anyway, guys, just be careful out there with expats that you make friendships with. Be on the lookout. Have your eyes wide open, guys. Some of my best friendships over here have been with Filipinos, and I've had some great, awesome, wonderful friendships with some expats, and probably one of my best expat friendships was with an older gentleman that was from my hometown that passed away, and he's greatly missed. And I have a couple of other friendships here in town still, but I haven't been able to see them because of the quarantine. But I did want to talk a little bit about, difficult expats, because it is definitely a something to think about when you come over here. How easy is it to make a friendship over here? It's easy to make a friendship. Just make sure it's the right one, because you'll know pretty much right away if the expat that you're befriending is good or bad. Usually you see it pretty quick, But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.